Clare Cunningham is a very talented young woman. She's well known in the northeast. She's from Cullen in County Louth, and she would have been on the scene here for a number of years. But look, her talent took her elsewhere, to the UK first, then on to Sweden. And now, folks, she's in Nashville. And this young woman is really going places. Well, a little earlier in the week, there's a big time difference. I caught up with Clare, and she began by talking to me about early doors in music for her.
Music has always just been part of my growing up, and I just had this inert want for it. And I mean, I grew up in a very music loving family. It's been something that was there all along. It's not something I just kind of stumbled upon the way some people do later in life. You know, it was, people asked me at a young age like what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I actually said a rock star.
Tell me, Clare, where did life take you after school and college?
After secondary school, I had already had a place secured at the Ballyfermot Rock School. So that was 2 years in Dublin. And then I decided to go to London and get a Bachelor of Arts honours degree in music, which, you know, realistically, I didn't necessarily need that to do what I do, but I just thought, you know, it is not a bad idea to have a degree, as some people said, to fall back on, but I don't work on fallback plans. But, you know, just in general in life, it does stand to you if you have somewhat of a degree. So it was after that, really, then I had moved to Wales and had started my professional music career, because I'd already been doing music all that time, but it wasn't until I had moved to Wales, which was I think in 2000 and the years, there's so many years now, 2009 I want to say, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah. So that's kind of like the process of it. So Bachelor of Arts it was a national diploma first, and then a Bachelor of Arts honours degree.
While you were there, you joined a group called Smoking Aces. Who or what were they? Have to say, I love the name, by the way.
There was a movie called Smoking Aces, and so I thought that was a very, very cool name, and we liked what we could do with the logo. So myself and Jamie, we were the founders of it, Jamie Hiscox, and we got together. We started as kind of a two-piece, and then we decided, look, let's build a band, and held a few auditions, went through a few different members, but that was my profession for the best part of 5 or more years, even 7 years it could have been, because that took us all up and down the UK, and we had our own original material alongside doing like corporate events, weddings, that kind of thing. So it was my full-time job and Jamie's, and it was a great one too. We did really well actually for ourselves, and it kind of got me into the business side of things really in the music industry.
You then make the move to Sweden, and talk about great names. Thundermother, an all-girl rock group.
That kind of was just one of those success stories that you don't hear very often happening. I woke up one morning in April to a voicemail from an unknown number. She never left her number. Her name is Philippa, and she had left me a message to say to call her back, that she'd heard me on YouTube and would love me to sing in her band. Now, that isn't a phone call I was used to receiving, so I thought, let me just try and contact her, but I couldn't because she didn't leave a return number. I just wanted to tell her thanks, but no thank you. And because Smoking Aces, that was my profession, and so we were booked 2-3 years out in advance, and so she actually was very adamant in talking to me. So luckily her perseverance kept her from not replying to me again. So she called the next day, and I was lucky enough to have answered the phone to her, and we talked for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I thanked her very much for the kind offer, but that my kind of livelihood was here at the time in the UK. And she said, well, look, I'd love you to have a think about it, because I think she said in like 3, 4 weeks we're opening up for Motorhead at Metaltown Festival in Sweden, in a part of Sweden, the west. And I thought to myself, well, she could have opened with that. And my answer may have been yes from the beginning, but I took down the information. I went out and checked out the website and saw that they were all female too. And I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. But I knew that the date she had given me, the date at least for the festival, was going to fall on a couple of weddings that we had booked. And so I'm like that kind of a person. I wouldn't want to let anybody down. But the guys in the band said, listen, this kind of opportunity doesn't come along every day. So I think you should really go for it. And long story short, I learned all 10, 11 songs that she had sent me. Flew over the day before the festival. I'd never been to Sweden. Took me 24 hours because in Wales there was no direct flight, so I had to drive down to London, get on a flight and get over there and meet 4 strangers, and literally take to the stage that next day to open up an entire festival. I knew it was going to be a life-changing moment the second we got off stage, though. Swedish news, the biggest news station, were there. They covered us. They put us on the news that night. And really, like, it was one of those overnight kind of success stories where, Warner Sweden, big label, had seen us a couple of months after that and literally signed us on the dot. So, yeah, it was a whirlwind, to say the least, but one I was very thankful for. There was great times had, there was hard times too, but definitely it gave me the platform and gave me enough of a good package to get together to go to where I am right now, and that is in Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Another big change from rock chick to country queen. What prompted the move to Nashville, Clare?
After 4 or 5 years, it wasn't going the way I expected it, and I had some great times, but like I said, there was internal issues going on, and music to me, it wasn't a happy place anymore, and I knew I never did music for anything else but a passion. So I said to the girls, look, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And people thought I was crazy. We had some amazing things lined up, but for me, the internal happiness had gone. And so, I decided to kickstart a solo career, which was the scariest thing I've ever done because I've never had a solo career. I kind of did begin it in Sweden on the sideline of Thundermother. But it wasn't until I decided to break away that I could actually, maybe now concentrate on what it is I want to do. My own music, my style, my stories. I wasn't allowed to do that in that band. And it was great for a few years, but my voice wasn't being heard. And I don't mean my actual singing voice. There was a lot of suppression that never was seen in the pictures or the videos or the interviews, and so yeah, my mental health was suffering slightly for that. So I said I need to make a change in my life, and that was that. And so it was one of the hardest decisions probably of my life to that date, but I'm so grateful. It gave me just everything I needed to move forward. And yeah, I chose America. Well, I chose America, but that doesn't just mean I could move straight away. It took about a year to get the visa in motion. And then once I got approved, then I was eligible to stay for 3 years. And those 3 years actually happened to expire this January. So 6 months ago, during the most horrific of times, I had to get a new visa. And even the lawyer said it himself. He was like, wow, to be honest, I don't know how this is going to go. But with the grace of God, I'm here, and I'm here for another 3 years.
I wish you all the very best for the next 3 years. Tell me this, how do you find your feet and become established in a legendary music town like Nashville? What's the key or the secret?
The key to breaking into anywhere, but especially Nashville, is to show people that you are dedicated, you are a hard worker, and you're there to do what can only be done there, and that is make magic and inspire people. And I guess America, they do have a love for us Irish over there, and that certainly has helped. And I guess because I'm a little different, I'm not a country artist by any means, so coming from the rock side of things, and also now my Celtic stuff, which I've really honed in on. I'm actually going to be doing a Celtic EP. I'm in the middle of recording it right now. It's gotten attention, like people. It's impactful, I guess. But alongside my work ethic, my insane work ethic, I guess, people really respect that here. They see it because everybody's in the same boat. And especially now, I guess, with having gone through this pandemic, where, if you can still continue to write, continue to still inspire, and continue to still doing what we're doing, it shows. People in this town do talk and take notice, and I was told that from the second I ever walked or stepped foot there. And I was spending time between Nashville and Nantucket, where my sister lives, Laura, whom you know. So yeah, people were seeing me coming and going and doing a lot. So yeah, I think Nashville just respects people who want to work and who aren't egotistical and who actually, have something to say.
Hard work, you can't whack it for sure. But in terms of where you are now, Claire, where do you see your career going over these next 3 years in Nashville?
A lot of people ask me, like, where do you see yourself? What is success to you? What do you want? And I've, time and time again, I've told people, at the end of the day, all I want to do is inspire, impact, and be able to speak to people and have a platform bigger than I'm on right now to speak to more people so that I can help heal more people, because for me, music has always been about connecting and just showing people that through my own struggles or pain or, different life experiences, that I can be a voice for those who may not have one or feel like they don't have one. So wherever that's going to be, then I'm willing to go there. And, I've got a lot of faith in knowing that everything is aligning as it should, especially in these times as we're speaking right now. There's a lot of good things going on. And I feel something is going to take off very soon right now. And I have my hand in a few different things, so I'm really excited. But for me, it's not about the massive materialism, but yeah, it'll be nice when I finally am able to get a team around me to do the things that will allow me just do my creative work, because I'm trying to juggle everything. I do everything. I'm my own booking agent. I run my website. I do all my emails. I do my socials. I book different showcases. I'm writing. I'm recording. I'm just, as part of my visa, my new visa, like, RCA Studios, Eddie and Justy, shout out to them. They're my sponsor now, and I'm fulfilling albums with them, and still writing with people. So there's a lot, and I have to do life on top of that. I still have to, wash, clean, sort out, just do life things that people just don't realize that there's a lot that goes into it, and you have to maintain yourself. There's maintenance done there. I can't just, I am my instrument, and it's, I've got myself to answer to. So yeah, it's wonderful. So I do hope that, yeah, I could get a team together eventually, which I already have great teams, but that just, people can take certain tasks away to alleviate some of the pressure that artists find themselves under these days.
You are, of course, a Cullen girl from the Weed County. Who's back home?
Just mum and dad. The rest of us up and left. Cullen's a wonderful place, but I guess it's just not big enough for the Cunninghams. I don't know. It's just mum and dad. That's still in the house that dad built. And obviously you guys are under a stricter lockdown than some countries are. So I guess until that kind of all lifts a little, then mum and dad will still be there, and none of us can really get back home, I guess. So that's, but it's the times that we're in at the minute, but that'll soon change.
I want to say hello to Trina and John, mum and dad in Cullen today. And to finish this afternoon, we're going to enjoy Clare Cunningham in words and song. Tell us what this song, Heart of Mine, Clare, is all about.
Yeah, Heart of Mine was written last year. No, not last year, the year before. I was at a BMI Songwriters Festival in Key West. BMI are a publication company here that collect royalties for musicians, and they're a big staple part of Nashville and, well, worldwide actually. And they hold a songwriter festival every year. I happened to have some things fall through that weekend, so I made the trip down. And during the whole weekend, there happened to be a pool party at one of the venues, and one of the publishing companies in town called Demolition were hosting it. And some of the guys had recognized me, said, "Oh, you're that girl that sings that Irish song that you've written." And I said, "Yeah." So they said, "Would you like to sing?" And I said, "Well, sure, if you don't mind, that'd be awesome." And got me up, and I sang my song Éireann na Machree, which I'm re-recording now actually. And the owner, the CEO, John D'Agostino, was there, and he said, "Wow, that was great. I'd love to write with you sometime." I said, "Certainly." So he called me when he got back into town. 2 weeks later, we sat down and we wrote Heart of Mine. And I really did. I loved it. Like, it's literally the premise behind the entire song really is just that no matter, what happens in life, you're going to be led where you need to be led. And if you just follow and listen to your heart, then, you can't really go too far wrong. And then I was very blessed because it took home like Song of the Year at the Songwriting Awards, World Songwriting Awards last year. So that was a nice little ode for it. And then on top of that, I had the amazing Steve Cropper, which people might recognize from many bands over the years, but the Blues Brothers. He's one of the top guitarists in the world, and also singer and writer and producer himself. And today marks the day. He happened to be in the studio today as I was laying down Éireann na Machree, the song I released a couple of years ago when I first came to America, in the very studio that I first recorded it in. And he was around, and he popped in, and he had played on that track, and give me some compliments that, you know, I'm very blessed to have such a legend on one of my tracks. But he came into the studio today, and as I was about to lay down the vocals, he sat down and he helped actually co-produce the vocals today and give me some really great tips and tricks. And I'll post about that tomorrow though, to give him a thank you. But yeah, So Heart of Mine, you know, there's a lot of goodness attached to that song, and going forward, I'm going to be releasing a Celtic EP now very shortly, so you're all going to get a piece of home hopefully soon.
Thanks so much for joining me on Late Lunch today, Clare.
Well, listen, thank you, and thanks for the support, and everybody at home, just stay safe, and you know, I'll keep doing what I do and hopefully put us on the map.
And yes, here she is, Clare Cunningham and Heart of Mine.
You break, you love, you hate. You push and pull me through the pain. You give and take and try to save me from making the same mistakes. You race sometimes you chase the memories I can't erase. Keep me alive, hold me through fire, and keep me from losing my faith. Truly am, when no one else can understand. You're here to keep these dreams alive, to light the stars up in my night, and carry me through this crazy ride when I'm too weak to even try. Heart of mine, in the darkest times, you're the light that shines, the one who decides which roads to take, which hills to climb. Close my eyes, open my soul, surrender when you take control. In silent prayer, you lead me there. Heart of mine, take me home. Take me You're the light that shines, the one who decides which roads to take, which hills